guys, welcome back. It's Ella here. Today we will be discussing one of my favorite topics once again. You guys know that I'm a bit of this I love asteroids and astrology, and a lot of people were asking me why I give so much attention to them. And to be honest, the reason why I do love them so much and why I like talking about them is because asteroids represent something really specific. It's kind of like a shortcut. For example, today we will be talking about Asteroid Ceres, and this asteroid is all about self-care. It's all about how we can nurture ourselves, looking at the position of Ceres in our chart. And if, let's say, you have a partner, you have a child, you have a friend, whoever it is you want to care or nurture for, you can look at their Ceres, and this would be the best way how you can connect with this person deeper, how you can nurture them, how you can take care of them. So to find Asteroid Ceres, as always, I'm going to give you instruction right in the description box in this video. So there are a few ways how you can find Asteroid Ceres in your chart. One way, you can go to serena.com. That's my favorite website because it has so many different asteroids in that list. Or you can also just literally Google it and find the timetable. Anyway, I'll give you some guidance in the description box on how to do that. And anyway, when you find Ceres, you don't need to look at any like minor aspects or anything like that. The most important is the sign and also the house. I'll give you an example of how it manifests. For example, in my chart, I have this asteroid in the sign of Taurus in the 7th house. So Ceres in Taurus is actually a very comfortable position because Ceres is this earth goddess. It's this motherly feminine principle of earth. It's this nurturing of earth. And in Taurus, it's very comfortable because Taurus is naturally, if you think of all the signs, right? Self-care, hashtag self-care is the sign that we always think about is Taurus, right? The ones who is the most like indulgent, kind of, you know, likes to pamper and enjoy themselves. So for me, all the things that are Taurus will be amazing for my self-care. So anything from eating really nice food, you know, like massages, spas, things like this. And because it's in the 7th house, actually very often what tends to happen is I attract partners who are either incredibly good cooks. I've dated some men who were amazing cooks, or if not that, they are someone who really likes to nurture and take care of me actually by taking me to a nice restaurant, treating me to a lovely meal. So I've always been very, you know, fortunate and blessed with that because I love to eat, but believe it or not, I cannot cook at all myself. However, the other way how it could manifest is that you could attract partners that would really appreciate that you nurture them by cooking amazing meal for them, by maybe giving them a neck massage and something like that. So anyway, let's go through all the 12 signs. And once again, Ceres, it's this motherly energy, it's this nurturing energy. So if you want to understand how to take better care of yourself, how to create better self-care ritual for yourself, that's an amazing placement to take a look at. And also, if you have somebody in your life you really care about and you want to, you know, connect with them deeper and you want to take better care of them, this is also something that is amazing to look at. Before we get started, you can study astrology with me if you're interested. There is actually, until the end of this week, there's a promotion going on. So for anyone who is enrolling in my foundational astrology course, there is a code for, I forgot if it was 20 or 25% discount, code REBIRTH at a checkout. And if you enroll in my astrology courses, I'm available to answer any of your questions. You have access to me. I respond usually within 24 hours. It's a self-study course, so you can go at your own pace, really. And you know, if you ever have any confusion or anything doesn't make sense to you, this is amazing benefit because it gives you access to me. So I will personally help you to understand things that maybe are not clicking. And there is also level 2 course, which also has a discount only this week. It's a 25% discount. The code is level 2. There's also an option to book a package with a much discounted price, and it also comes with a free complimentary chart reading with me. So check it out. We only have this promotion until the end of this week. I'm not thinking that I'm going to be extending that, so take advantage of this week. And yeah, for everything else, you can also check out the description box, all the things that are currently being offered. I also have my private membership community that's also open On this channel, there are 3 different tiers of what's offered in the membership community. First tier is basically access to exclusive content, certain things that you won't find many people on YouTube talk about. Second tier is access to live stream, where I'm answering all of your questions. And tier 3 is also an option to receive a monthly private video from me, how I do a prediction for all signs on this channel, just for you at a much discounted price, something that I don't offer on my Etsy shop, something that I don't offer at all. So check it out. Links for everything are in the description box. Thank you so much for sitting through my own sponsorship of my own channel. I really appreciate it. And anyway, let's get started. Let's start with number 1, which is Ceres in the sign of Aries. And by the way, guys, let me know in the comments below where your Ceres sign is placed, your sign and your house. And what is your self-care ritual? What is the recommendation you can give to us? I would really love to hear from you and learn from you as well. So let's say if you're like Ceres in Cancer and maybe you really like take bubble bath, let us know in the comments, anything really, so that we could all learn from each other. And you know, as also the holiday season will be coming up in a few months, maybe we will even go back to this video and when preparing a gift for someone we love, or wanting to express love in some way, we will learn from your recommendations. Thank you guys so much. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, so what you must know about people who have Ceres in a sign of Aries. These are the people who will need very individualized self-care, because Aries is this very individual sign. So something that maybe works for everyone, like let's say if with Ceres and Taurus, it's very easy to appeal to them, because you just do basically anything nice, whether it's a meal, a spa, a gift, you know, anything pretty much that kind of makes sense when you think self-care. With Aries, on the contrary, is different. Something that Ceres in Taurus or in other signs will like, Ceres in Aries might not necessarily like. So first of all, the self-care needs to be individualized for this sign specifically. Second, they are not necessarily someone who is into cuddly, bubbly type of stuff. They are maybe more into things like being active, exercising more. And if you really want to nurture this person, like let's say if you have a girlfriend, boyfriend, friend, child, anyone with this placement, the way they will really feel nurtured and nourished and cared for is if you encourage them. Like let's say they're full of doubt whether or not they can run a marathon or write a novel or do whatever it is they want to do. And if you show up as a person who is really encouraging them, if you show up as a bit of even cheerleader, they will really appreciate it. They will really feel valued. An absolute no-no for dealing with these people is to make them feel like they are dominated, like they are not in a position of a leader. You want to help them to become this person who is very comfortable in their own skin. Sometimes Ceres and Aries people could be already comfortable in their own skin, but Ceres and Aries is not the most natural placement, so here it could be a little bit in conflict with itself. This could be a person who could be doubting whether or not actually like they're strong enough. So these are the people also who like to exercise. I actually had an ex-boyfriend who had Ceres in the sign of Aries. Like he was just obsessed with going to the gym and exercising, because this is the way he felt like he takes care of himself. This is the way how he felt nourished. Of course, it doesn't have to be, once again, just physical exercise. It's not as basic as that. However, physical exercise very often and being active could be something that is a very, very prominent self-care for these people. And once again, it needs to be individualized. These people do need to feel like they are in charge. These people do need to feel encouraged. These people need to feel motivated as well. And that's the way this would really manifest in a way that they feel like, well, you know, I feel good in my own skin. There is that element to it. Yeah, and also I would say that these people could eventually become very determined to do whatever their goals are. So once again, encourage these people, like tell them, hey, you're amazing, you're great, you're doing great. They will really value that. Words of affirmation, encouragement really works with these people. So the ritual that I recommend for people with Ceres and Aries, self-love, going to the gym, doing any kind of physical exercise, doing something that's very unique. Maybe it doesn't make sense to anybody else, the way you're taking care of yourself, but as long as it makes sense to you, as long as it's really healthy for you, do it. And also even any kind of active play dates, like skiing, going like into any kind of sports, active sports, could be amazing. Now let's move to Ceres and Taurus. I love Ceres and Taurus. I think it's one of the best placement, if not the best placement for this asteroid. I have this in my own chart myself, and Ceres and Taurus is just, at home here. It's a sign that likes to feel pampered. When we think self-care, something we naturally think about is pampering, right? You think, oh, self-care, I put my mask on, right? Oh, self-care, I have my chamomile tea. Like, Ceres and Taurus is exactly all of these things. Like, all of the things you would naturally think of as self-care, Taurus is the sign that represents that. So these people, and I can sign up for this, these people really love when you cook for them. It doesn't have to be like, let's say if you are boyfriend, girlfriend of this person. Like, even when my friends, like just my friends, or anybody, family members, friends, anybody really makes a good meal for me, like with love, I just feel so like that's it, like sold, like I love this person forever. And it's just like, it's very easy to bribe this person with not just any food, of course, but some nice snacks. Bring them nice snacks, take them to a nice meal. If you are yourself a holder of this placement. Honestly, I never learned how to cook well. Occasionally, I guess I could, but eating nice food, ordering maybe nice food, taking even yourself to a nice restaurant could really work. And of course, anything that you would not naturally think of self-care, things like go to a nice massage, get a nice massage, go to a nice spa. Physical touch is very, very good also for the Ceres and Taurus. If somebody rubs your stiff neck, if somebody gives you a massage, a hug, it's amazing because you will really feel like taken care of. And yeah, once again, I would say, like, I know it sounds so basic, but it's true. Ceres and Taurus will always appreciate good meal. I remember only maybe a few times in my life I went on dates with guys who took me out and they wanted to just get either a coffee or a drink. I don't even know if I went on that date, but to me it was ridiculous. Like, feed me well. And it's most people I dated, most people I've been in a relationship with, they were amazing at it. Like, they were always someone who took me to nice restaurants, who cooked food for me, even if themselves. And even my friends, like, I'm so lucky in a way. Even my friends, there were moments when they would just cook for me and feed me like I'm a little kid, and I'd be very very happy with that. So yeah, Ceres and Taurus in a way is the easiest. Just pamper them and they'll be forever happy. I would also add, of course, Taurus rules the finer things in life and finances as well. So it's like financial stability, anything that makes them feel stable and makes them feel like they have quality, clothes and things, also helps them feel very nurtured and pampered. It's very true. So some of the ideas for Ceres and Taurus for self-care would be spa day, nice restaurant date, even if you're just cooking for yourself, lovely meal, massage, cuddly, maybe bubbly type of date as well. So it's very simple, but it really works. Now let's think of Ceres and Gemini. This is also one of the easier placement because these are the people who get nourishment through communication, through information. So they're someone who would really probably love motivational quotes, some kind of, not even necessarily motivational, but those like really positive quotes or interesting words. They need to communicate with others. It's extremely important for these people to feel like they can express themselves through their words, that they are listened to, that they have someone to talk to. Journaling could be an amazing form of self-care for Ceres and Gemini, feeling like they can write down something. And especially, like, I always noticed, even like when I was a teenager, there were all these girls who would buy this super cute little diaries and stuff, and I think still even as adults some people do that. So with Ceres and Gemini, I knew one girl, I think she had like gratitude journal, she had manifestation journal, like all kind of different little journals. For me, I'm always like, I just have one, like, for everything, but like she actually had them even separate. And she really liked journaling. She really liked to take that time to sit down, to, write down her thoughts. It was an amazing form of self-care. But besides that, even something as simple as, having a chat with your friend, really feeling like you can express yourself and speak your mind and people will listen to you. So very, like, friends here could play important role, because you do need someone who can listen to you. You do need, like, you do need to feel like you're exchanging information in this very positive, nurturing way with others. And of course, even exposing yourself to new forms of information, something that makes you feel good about yourself, like maybe you're learning some psychological concepts, like actually learning about self-care. I'm trying to think what else could it be. Like, all of this can work here. And maybe short trips, like one of the self-care rituals for these people with Aries and Gemini would be small little trip. You don't have to go anywhere far, but maybe even in your own city, be a tourist for a day, or go to just nearby town and like explore like the lighthouse. I don't know, something of that nature could also really work. They like to learn, they like to listen, maybe not to listen, they like to speak, I would say, with Aries and Gemini, maybe even to listen when it's like a mutual thing going on. And yeah, it's also, I think Aries and Gemini is one of the signs where it's quite natural, quite easy to figure out the self-care routine for the sign. Now let's talk about Aries and Cancer. Also, you know, like with most signs, it's pretty easy flowing energy. Here it also flows very easily. These people, of course, especially if there is any other elements, any other signs, any other planets in the sign of Cancer, these will be the people who will really need to have some nice, you know, time at home. These people will really value their apartment. It will be really important for them to have a home where they really feel like everything is made in such a way where there is nourishment. So some of these people might even decide to live in what do you call these, greenhouses, where there is like you know, either something ecologically clean, or it could also even be like you live in a house maybe in a forest, or your house just has some nature elements in it. Comfort is very important. Comfort and spending time at home is very important for these people. So, you know, if let's say Aries and Gemini wants to go on a little like adventure somewhere, or Aries and Sag would also love that. Aries and Cancer is, in a way, I don't want to say they necessarily are a homebody, they could be, but when they want to recharge, especially like if they want to take care of themselves, spending time at home, maybe even with family, could be very good for them. They are someone who really likes hugs. Like, if you want to make this person feel cared for and loved, give them a hug. They will really love that. They are kind of similar in some ways to Aries and Taurus, because they also would value good food and like all of this home, nice, lovely, cuddly stuff. So they like to mother others. It can go two ways. They will either like to mother others, nourish others, maybe even adopt pets or take care of pets, because this is where motherly nature comes from. Or alternatively, they could also like to be around people who would also look at them a little bit as a kid, not necessarily pressure them so much and be too strict on them. They will really like people who will, you know, how like a very kind mom would just be like, oh, okay, you know, not a big deal what you just did. So they kind of deep down, I would say, like look for this family relationship with people they care about. They are not someone who is necessarily very calculative, even in their friendships or their relationships, because deep down they crave this feeling of home. They could be sentimental too, if there's other elements as well in, you know, supporting that in the chart. So for them, you know, a lot will also depend on how were their needs met by their mother and in their early childhood, because this will kind of show whether they know what exactly they need to feel nourished, or are they someone who is in denial of their very basic needs. So early childhood for this series is very important. So some of my suggestions for a self-care ritual for these people, well, you could just make sure your home is this safe haven. Make sure your home is this like feng shui, even like doing feng shui for your house. Feng shui, sorry, I always get confused how you pronounce it. For your house can really work. Maybe if a pet is something you want, could also make you feel really good here, because if it's a pet and you're at home with your pet and there's this privacy, it can really be like a self-care ritual. So something that you do at home, or maybe even something you do for your home, taking care maybe even of someone who is a little bit weaker than you, could even be that. So having a pet is amazing for this placement, and also taking care of your home, making sure that your home is really not just an apartment, not just a house, but there is something special about it, whether everything is, you know, maybe is organic in your house, or maybe you created different art for your home, or different things. Like all these things are very important, because your home is going to be very important for you really even taking care of yourself. Anyway, let's go further. Ceres in Leo. Okay, with the Ceres in Leo, we know, right, Leo is the most dramatic, self-expressive sign. So for these people, it's very important, first of all, to allow themselves to express themselves creatively. I know it sounds really basic, but it's, you know, some of these things actually are so good because they are so simple. Self-expression is important here. They like to actually also, similarly to Ceres and Aries, encourage people, and they really value encouragement. Let's say if with Ceres and Aries, they need more of a push, like you can do it type of attitude. With Aries and Leo, what they really value is when you admire them. Tell them, let's say if this person, I don't know, plays an instrument, tell them, wow, I've never heard such guitar solo before in my life. Wow, you're so beautiful. I never saw anyone who had such big eyes. I don't know, like it's always works, Ceres in Leo, or even I would say any other placement in Leo, a little bit of, you know, telling them how amazing they are. It's something that deep down all Leos crave. You can deny that, but from my experience with Leos that I've had in my life, I don't want to say that they're like attention seeking or anything, but they want to feel admired. They want to be recognized for their talents. They want to be recognized for how unique they are. And I would say any kind of, if you actually yourself have Ceres in Leo, and if you feel really down on yourself, look around. Do you have people who genuinely cheer you up? Do you have people who admire you? Because if you don't, you will very often feel like, you know, like you could feel like, I don't want to say worthless, but like you're lacking something. So admiration is important for the sign, and I would say the best self-care ritual is anything that will allow you to express your individuality, your star quality, your creative talents. So let's say if you yourself have Ceres in Leo, have a hobby at least of, I don't know, art, painting, dancing, drama, anything like that. It's very important. It will really help you feel like you are connected to your own nourishment within. And if you're dating, let's say someone with Ceres in Leo, it could be an amazing date. Let's say if you go to, you know, those dates where you have some wine and you paint. Like, I'm not recommending anyone to drink, but we all know, right? In America, it's very popular. Like, you go on a date and you take like a painting class or something like that. So that could be amazing for these people. Anything that will allow them to express their creativity will actually really nourish their soul as well. So once again, for the sign specifically, any kind of creative rituals, maybe even for yourself, like you're at home, but you have a couple of hours a day, or at least a couple of times a week where you paint, or where, I don't know, you do something which lets you express yourself. So Ceres in Leo, in a way, is a very interesting placement too. Now let's look at Ceres in Virgo. Ceres in Virgo, in a way, Ceres sometimes acts, I don't want to say exactly like Venus, but it has a little bit of quality in Venus. And just like Venus is at home in Taurus, but Venus is in its detriment in Virgo, Ceres in Virgo also needs to be a little bit more careful with a few things. So first, sometimes Ceres and Virgo could feel very self-critical of themselves, whether they have other Virgo placements in their chart or not. And of course, if there is more Virgo placements, it will only emphasize that. They're someone who sometimes could be very hard to take care of. Why? Because they are very practical. So these are the people who really love to help others, and sometimes they might not necessarily be the most lovey-dovey, they might not necessarily be the most even kind in your traditional sense, but they're someone who will be doing something because, okay, this will actually really help, even if maybe it's something that hurts your feeling, maybe they tell you something that's not necessarily pleasant to hear. But really, Ceres in Virgo, of course, if it corresponds with everything else in the chart, very often their desire is to be of help, to be practical. So in a way, they appreciate when others take care of them this way as well. Like, they might not care for something like really flashy, which sometimes I think with Ceres and Leo, you can take care of them by giving them something really flashy, really bright, really trying to impress them, fireworks, whatever, this kind of stuff. Ceres and Virgo doesn't necessarily need to hear that they're the best or whatever. They need something useful. So let's say if it's a person who doesn't look their best wearing, I don't know, yellow color, they would rather hear that. They appreciate honest feedback. There's someone also who could be quite hard on themselves. Once again, similarly to Venus and Virgo, there's a lot of similarities between Ceres and Venus. And they're someone who could be very invested in healthy nutrition, in taking care of their body, going to yoga, going to swimming, going to do things that are good for them. So sometimes in a way for this specific series, it's good to loosen up a little bit, organize maybe their closet, throw out stuff that they don't really need, let themselves relax as well, not necessarily just need to be all the time so practical and so focused on details. One of the self-care rituals I would recommend for Ceres and Virgo is to write down your accomplishments, things that you're already feeling proud of, things that you already have accomplished. You know, what's her name? Marie Kondo also, like decluttering your life could be something like an actual ritual for Ceres and Virgo, when they get rid of all the junk, all the things that draining their energy, and instead everything is beautiful and organized. Once again, as basic as it is, I found that with Ceres, actually, the more the basic, the more the foundational, the more it works. Creating something for yourself, which is good quality meal, which is good quality, even, you know, I know some Ceres and Virgo people who created their own customized skincare. So something like with oils, with different extracts, like it's very important for them to also in a way have things customized, similarly to Ceres and Aries, and for things to be high quality, for things to actually serve a purpose of improving something in their life, feeling like they're getting ahead. And I would just say that once again, because Virgos tend to be very hard on themselves, it's important for them to list their accomplishments and see how far they've already come. There is, with any Virgo placement, I would say, and I feel very connected to Virgos because I'm a moon and south node in Virgo. There is always a way of looking at things like where we are lacking, where we need to improve. Virgo is just naturally is a problem solver. So we tend to always look at what's not working rather than what's working. And sometimes to just really pause and creating even a self-care ritual for yourself where you look at how far you've come. Look at your also environment and your circumstances. Sometimes what Virgos tend to do is they compare themselves, I don't know, to somebody who was maybe like born in a billionaire family, or somebody who was born in a different country with different type of opportunities than them, didn't have the same starting ground. Many things like this, and they don't cut themselves slack. They are like, well, I should be better, I should still improve, I should still be better. And I think that sometimes it's good to take a pause, to take a step back and be like, look at which circumstances you came from, look at how you turned your life around already, look at what you've accomplished already, rather than constantly being on that chase of making yourself better, getting better. Sure, there's nothing wrong with it, but you have to appreciate and be grateful in a way even for how far you've come, how far you've been given a chance to go. So that's something I really recommend for Ceres and Virgo. And of course, once again, anything healthy, anything that actually makes your life better, yes, all of these things will really work. Now let's look at Ceres instead of Libra. Ceres in Libra is similar to Ceres in the 7th house. I have Ceres in the 7th. So in a way, I find a lot of correspondence between the sign and the house, with Ceres in any sign really. And with Ceres in Libra, relationships is a source of comfort. Feeling like you have this partner, you know, you can do things with, even if it's anything basic, even if it's watching Netflix together, there is something about Ceres in Libra, and once again, I relate to this a lot as Ceres in the 7th house, where everything is just better with partner. Everything is just better with relationship. It's like, even if you're not doing, once again, anything super special, there is just something about relationships that gives you comfort, that gives you feeling of nourishment. So you guys who have Ceres in Libra, for those of you with this placement, I think self-care ritual doesn't necessarily have to be, of course, with a partner, but if you're partnered up, it could be, you know, like together doing something with a partner, going on a couple's retreat, I don't know, going on a couple's spa day. You know how there is these packages for couples where you're getting massages at the same time and stuff like that. Could be amazing. Anything that has to do with relationships could be amazing here. So the relationship itself here, once again, will become a source of nourishment. And actually these people in a way are very lucky, because usually unless there is major afflictions of Venus, of course in your chart there's so much going on, so it's like this is just one placement that kind of looks at something specific, but we need to look at everything in conjunction, of course. If there is no other afflictions going on in your chart, it could be very much that your partnerships and your partners will really like to take care of you. You will just be naturally blessed that you get a boyfriend, let's say, who will like to take you shopping, who will like to take you nice places, who will like, even if he's not, let's say, doing something in a financial way, maybe even when you're home, he will just tell you, hey, go relax, I'm gonna do the dishes, you know. I have Ceres in the 7th, happened to me so many times where, you know, it was hard to get into a relationship, but once I was in a relationship, I was like all set. Because about something actually I want to mention here, dating and actual partnership plus marriage is 2 different things in astrology. You might have horrible dating life, like I never had amazing dating life, to be honest, but then once you get in a relationship, there is a completely different picture. You are very happy. Could be the opposite. You might be someone who attracts a lot of dates and, you know, there's a lot of opportunities, but then you get into a relationship and all hell breaks loose. Could be different things. But yeah, anyway, with Ceres and Libra, amazing relationships, nurturing partners. You yourself could be also very nurturing towards your partners, and you will have the kind of partners who will once again give you that extra sense of security and that extra sense of feeling taken care of well. An alternative to that is also anything that has to do with beauty, anything that has to do with finer things in life, similarly to Taurus. In a way, Taurus is more of this earthly energy, where Taurus just likes nice stuff, whatever that is, you know, like a nice soft even toy or something like cashmere, I don't know, like any kind of things that feel nice. Ceres in Libra could be a little bit more refined than that. Like this could be people who appreciate good wines, like knowing which wine to pair with what. This could be the people who appreciate finer things like art as well, like observing art, going just to beautiful places. I actually had a friend who had Ceres, I believe it was in Libra, I'm pretty sure, and she was someone who sometimes would just go, you know, to look at diamonds, to go to like top-notch galleries in New York City. And even though she was like not necessarily in a position to even buy a lot of these things, just even being around all this beauty and all this really refined architecture and art, and you know, precious stones, diamonds, all of that made her immediately feel like she's just good, you know, she's feeling good about herself. So self-care rituals could be, once again, surrounding yourself with beauty, surrounding yourself with finer things, all of this, like, I don't know if high society is the right word, but like refined things, if you know what I mean. Even reading good book, like some kind of literature that's really gonna make you not even necessarily learn something practical, but you are enjoying. This is a classic literature. This is something that will make you feel like you're not an intellectual, but what do you call this, as aesthetic. Anything aesthetic really is a form of self-care, and of course taking care of your beauty, taking care of your feminine energy. If you're a woman watching this, is also something that works very well as self-care for this specific Ceres sign. Once again, there is a lot of similarity between how Ceres acts and how Venus acts. It's not the same, but there are some things that I notice kind of like, you know, they click together. Okay, Ceres in the sign of Scorpio, a very interesting placement for Scorpio, for Ceres. These people will like to have, similarly to Libra, deep bonds with people. So now it's not just a relationship and partnership. They will like to have this deep connection with people. So if it's with this partner, it needs to be this very, very deep bond, very transformative bond. You are me and I'm you type of thing. And not just with even romantic partners, even with friends. They will like to have this very deep transformative relationships with friends, not just something that's very basic level. They like to go deep. As anything, anywhere Scorpio goes, they like to go deep. Here, for self-care specifically, intimacy of any kind could be amazing. Learning even about intimacy, if you don't have anyone, even exploring your own body and your own energy, learning about what works for you when it comes to intimacy or not. All this kind of, you know, sacred sexuality workshop, tantric workshops, just learning about your own body could be amazing here. This could be also people who could really benefit from working with energy healing, shamanism, maybe going to a shaman, partaking you know, in journeys, listening to like instruments which are, you know, used by like indigenous cultures, like, you know, those sound baths when someone's playing didgeridoo. All these like deep instruments could be amazing as a self-care ritual. They really want to go deep and even a little bit dark, but also transform. So anything that will help you transform, get to know your sexuality better, get to know the deeper parts of yourself better, will really be amazing here. And once again, intimacy is not just sex. Intimacy could be things like emotional intimacy, you know, so like even with your family and friends, to connect deeper will be something that will be amazing form of self-care. But if of course you're just doing some kind of ritual for yourself, once again, it's learning about all these things that I just mentioned, even deep like sound healing baths, deep meditations, even learning about all this, you know, stuff such as tarot cards. Astrology is a form of self-care because it allows these people to go deep and to explore themselves, to explore something that's hidden, something that's a little bit more taboo, and it could be very interesting. So a very interesting placement for Ceres in Scorpio. But also I want to say here, it's very important if you want to take care of someone who's a Ceres in Scorpio, to understand that they might be sometimes a little bit more jealous or prone to negative thinking. So in a way, it's kind of similar with Ceres and Aries, where those people could just be down on themselves. So you want to encourage them. Here, a person just needs reassurance that they can trust you, because they're very distrustful towards others. They could be, of course, if everything else in their chart agrees as well. So these people need reassurance. These people need to feel that they're not alone, that there is someone who cares about them, that there is someone who will be there for them no matter what happens. So in a way, like showing this person that you could be with them through thick and how do they say, thick and thin, and even if there is any, God forbid, crisis that happens, is something that makes them feel like, oh, okay, I feel safe here. Because don't forget, Scorpio is this calamity. Scorpio doesn't ever feel safe. Like, they only start feeling safe once they accept the ups and downs of life, and that's when the remedy, and the natural remedy, not gemstone, not anything, happens, when they understand that life is full of ups and downs. And that's when actually, surprisingly, they correct that according to Kabbalistic astrology. So they turn what's bitter into the sweet. And now they don't necessarily get same situation because they've resolved that. So there is that. So here, once again, if you want to care about this person, some reassurance, making them feel, not necessarily like you cannot promise them, right, that there will not be difficult situation, but what certainty here is knowing that no matter what happens, we will deal with it, we'll be okay, we'll grow from it. So it's not about avoiding negative situations in life or difficult situations in life. It's more about whatever happens, you know, I'll be there for you, I'll listen to you, I'll support you, that kind of stuff. Okay, let's look at Sagittarius, Ceres sign. These people need to feel like they have the freedom. So if you want to take care of this kind of person, is first of all, not try to limit them in some way. Even if they tell you like, I'm gonna go to the moon, I don't know, in 5 years, I'm gonna go to Mars, whatever. There is beauty in letting this person expand. Like if you have a child, let's say, with this placement, or if you have a partner, like let them, it's not even necessarily about dreaming, but there is this desire with Sagittarius to expand, to go, to have more, to explore more, to be adventurous, to be free, to not be restricted. And the more you support that, rather than, you know, try to be possessive, territorial, or restrictive with them, the more they feel nurtured. They need to feel like they have the freedom to be who they want to be, the freedom to do what they want to do, no matter how crazy this dream or this desire looks to others. They need to do this for themselves. They're someone who also might not necessarily look as this classic, you know, once again, cuddly, bubbly type, unlike, let's say, Ceres in Taurus or Ceres in Cancer. They are, once again, Ceres in fire signs is kind of different, because they are not necessarily someone who cares much about take me out to nice dinner or whatever. They are someone who wants to feel like their wisdom is appreciated. Let this person advise you on something. Let's say even if this person is young, but they're giving you advice and you feel like there's this wisdom coming from them, accept it, because these are the people who want to live life in a different way. They could be sometimes, if there's of course other factors in their chart, a bit of an old soul. So let them teach you. Let them also embrace the role of a teacher. Let them also be let them figure out for themselves what is it they stand for in this world. And especially if this person is down on themselves, encourage them to explore, encourage them to be passionate. They could be themselves very good at giving advice, but not necessarily always following their own advice. So this could be something that also they need to be more mindful of. What is the self-care ritual for Ceres and Sagittarius? To be honest, I cannot think of like immediate self-care ritual for the signs. I would say it's allowing yourself to think big and to dream could be your ultimate self-care ritual. Thinking of the big ideas, thinking big in life, being optimistic maybe at times when others find it difficult to be optimistic. Writing down your goals of all the like bucket list. Oh, I found finally bucket list. Maybe you want to make this bucket list of things that you want to do. Once again, for many people it might look crazy or sound crazy, but as long as it makes sense for you, as long as it makes you feel more empowered, makes you feel like you're expanding, it's good. So anything that has to do with expansion and also even like with higher knowledge could be amazing. Studying even for Ceres in the sign of Sagittarius and expanding their education, even if they already have masters or PhD, could be a form of self-care. Studying things like philosophy, maybe learning about foreign cultures, all of that kind of like basic stuff that you would think of Sagittarius could really apply here. And if you have that sign, because I don't have a lot of experience with Ceres and Sag, let me know in the comments. I would be very curious to see what's your self-care rituals. Let me know in the comments what's, you know, regardless of which sign you are, what are your self-care rituals, what is your Ceres sign. Okay, so with Capricorn Ceres sign, here it's also interesting because they're someone who doesn't let go easily. They need to feel similarly to Ceres in Virgo, like their life is in control. They need to feel like there is organization. They need to feel like they know what they are doing. So in a way, for these people, attending maybe even something like something for their job, for their profession, like, you know, this breakfast meetings, like business meetings. I remember when I was working in finance, we had some of this invitation only, or, you know, through your school, like alumni of your school, invitation to, let's say, I don't know, like traders business meeting, or like financial compliance business meeting, something like that, in like breakfast or lunch or whatever, like things like this, things that can help you with your career. Because here, you know, goal setting is really one of the things that makes them feel like they're doing well in life, like setting goals and also seeing what they have accomplished so far could be amazing here. And again, similarly to Ceres and Virgo, sometimes these people are hard on themselves. Sometimes they don't feel like they even deserve or have a right to relax yet, because there's so much they need to do. Ceres acts very interesting in different signs. Like Taurus and Cancer, they have no problem just, you know, letting go and lying on the couch and, you know, nurturing themselves, hashtag self-care. When Ceres, to be honest, in Virgo and Capricorn, actually are someone who might need a little bit of a push in that direction to accept that actually it's okay, even if you haven't accomplished your goals, whatever is in your head you need to accomplish, you still can take care of yourself. So of course, self-care rituals here could include anything that will help you with your goal setting, with your job, with your career, but it doesn't have to be. One of the things I would say is important to realize, especially for the sign of Virgo and for the sign of Capricorn, is that you don't need to be perfect. You can just enjoy yourself for the sake of enjoying yourself and have the same meal, the same, I don't know, shopping spree, the same spa day as, let's say, Taurus always likes to have, you know, whether they accomplish their goals or not. But you deserve that too. Like a lot of people with Ceres and Capricorn, something that I notice very often feel like, no, I haven't achieved my goal yet. I haven't made this amount of money. I cannot allow myself to rest yet. So be careful. I don't know if, what's this guy's name? Gary V? Does he have Capricorn Ceres? I don't remember what his placement was, but I don't know. He sometimes is like, what was he saying? Like, you eat SHIT and then you become successful. And I was always having a lot of resistance to that. I'm like, no, you're gonna enjoy life, right? Dolce Vita. So for Capricorn Ceres sign, it could be hard to imagine what kind of Dolce Vita are you talking about if you know, didn't, like, if you didn't accomplish what you wanted to accomplish. Now, taking care of Ceres and Capricorn person could be kind of hard because they're the ones who usually is advising people and being a smarter person in the room. So I would just say, like, clap how far they've come, how amazing they are, and let them be. And I would say, like, if you want to take care of this person, don't forget to remind them that they deserve self-love, that they deserve rest, that they deserve to just do sometimes, you know, sometimes you buy something for yourself, you don't really need it, but it feels good, you know, you get some energy from it, right? Maybe sometimes that's what this person needs. Of course, if you just start buying stuff to, you know, like mend the empty holes in your chest, it's a whole other thing. But sometimes, you know, just doing some silly little stuff actually helps to feel people more nurtured. Anyway, Ceres in the sign of Aquarius, friendships, very important for these people. They will feel very nourished automatically whenever they with group of friends, whenever they are part of some kind of social group, social network. It's amazing. They like to be part of the group. They like to also be free. They like to feel connected to other humans. They like to do exchange, maybe even of gifts. Like if you've ever been to Burning Man, like there is nothing really you can buy when you are there, like once you are there, but you exchange, like you bring a lot of gifts, like you give people food as gift, you give like different jewelries, give different things like that, and you trade also with people. So Ceres and Aquarius like that. They like to do stuff with their friends. They like to, you know, they like to be around people. And if you have, let's say, Ceres and Aquarius, but you are someone who is finding themselves isolated more often than not, it might be an indication that maybe there was a trauma in childhood, or there is anything else in your chart, of course, restricting that. So you kind of do need to become a little bit more aware where this blockage is coming from, because actually, even if you feel shy, even if you feel like it's difficult for you to make friends, the moment you overcome that resistance within yourself, you will find that a lot of nourishment, a lot of care will come to you from your friends. I know one guy who has Ceres in sign of Aquarius. He was a guitar player for a lot of different bands over the years, and he just has such amazing social network where he has friends who are photographers, he has friends who are other musicians, he has friends who are like in booking, like in PR, in social media, and whenever he needs anything, his friends tend to come, you know, and help him. So he himself doesn't necessarily like, you know, have so much how to say, like he by himself might not be so strong, but because of his ability to also form relationships with other people, he attracts all the time some kind of friends who help him a lot. And a self-care ritual here could be doing stuff with your friends, but I know it's a kind of like basic, but you know, similarly also to Ceres and Aries, it could be something really unique, something that makes sense to you. Of course, these people are also very interested in astrology, so astrology, learning about maybe like different forms of energy, and you know, all these documentaries on like Gaia, like about ancient civilizations. They could be very much naturally interested in it. Learning about the stars, learning about astrology could be a form of self-care. I mean, of course, with social media, we need to be careful that it doesn't become like way too much. But even sometimes for them, like spending some time on social media could be also something that feels like, you know, because they do benefit from friends, and there is a lot of nurturing energy usually that comes from friends. They might feel this also with, let's say, their friends on social media networks. Yeah, I don't know what else to add here. Of course, Aquarius is a unique sign, right? So the more they appreciate their own uniqueness, their own unique path, their own unique maybe look, it could be like a form of self-care ritual. And if you want to take care, of course, of someone with Ceres and Aquarius, make them feel like it's okay for them to be who they are, even if there's some quirky things about them, some different things about them. The more you show them that you accept them fully the way they are, the more they will feel really like recognized and nourished and nurtured. Anyway, Ceres and Pisces. Okay, this one is also interesting. These are actually people who absolutely will need some time alone, like social media turned off completely, phone turned off completely, just, you know, like self-care ritual with this little candle, maybe bubble bath, you know, meditation at home, where because they are so sensitive, Ceres and Pisces could be very sensitive, and they could be someone who actually loves to take care of others. For their self-care, they will really need to just take a moment and just be by themselves. Spend some time maybe at home, similarly to Ceres and Cancer. Really pamper themselves, not necessarily like Taurus to just enjoy themselves, because Taurus is a bit of a hedonist, right? You say this, they just like to do stuff because it feels good. With Ceres and Pisces, it's more about finding that inner peace, inner balance, inner zen, you know, like something to distress themselves. Water, anything with water could be amazing to them. And also for Cancer, by the way, any kind of activity near water, taking a bath could be amazing here. Anything that has to do also with yoga, with meditation, something that they could enjoy in the privacy of themselves, not being affected by anybody's else energies. Anything that also is connected to creativity, to spiritual practice, some kind of spiritual practice they have, or something creative like painting, maybe like watching some kind of fantasy movie or reading a book. Like in a way, Ceres and Pisces is easy because it's also some of that stuff you would naturally think of. And whenever they feel like they are not well taken care of, they will feel this natural sense of abandonment, nobody loves me type of stuff. So if you want to take care of a person with Ceres and Pisces, give them time alone. However, remind them that you're always there for them. The moment they need you, you know, they can, you can talk to them. You can be there for them. If you want to give a gift to this person, give them, I don't know, you know, like something for the bubble bath, something really nice. Something also that could help them maybe meditate better, like have private time alone. That's, you know, private time alone, like with meditation, something that will make them just feel, it's not even about safe, but it's like distressed. Like if you want to give them a gift, give them something that has to do with distressing themselves, feeling really like good in their own private little element. So anyway, of course, I ran through all the signs really quickly. There is, of course, a lot, we can go a lot deeper in all of that, how it works together with your moon, with your Venus, with other placements in your chart. But I would just say, like, look at the sign and look at the house. Like I gave you an example in the beginning of the video, how it manifests in my chart, because I'm Ceres and Taurus in the 7th. I think it's very accurate. And then you can play around with houses and see how these things make sense together. Okay, so here are also a few things that I forgot to mention when I was recording the video. So first and foremost, about Taurus. Ceres and Taurus actually is someone who could also be easily nurtured by music, because Taurus connects to music as well. So for these people, either making their own music, you know, or just listening to amazing music and just letting yourself to really like feel it, enjoy it, could be great. Let's see. Then I think what I said about Ceres and Gemini is pretty you know, complete. And so it's about the Cancer. With Ceres and Leo, the way you can also nurture this person, if it's someone you love, give them attention. Leos love attention. Like, let's just, you know, get it right. Most of the time. They like attention of people they care about. Admire them a lot. Virgos, like if you criticize a Virgo or give them feedback, give it very detailed. Like they will not necessarily take it badly. However, in my opinion, Ceres and Virgo already tend to be very hard on themselves. So I would just say encourage them. Even if you criticize them or even if you give them feedback, make sure they know that they are amazing. Then Ceres and Libra would also like things like, once again, beauty, good manners. Something I forgot to mention about Ceres and Scorpio, that these people actually also really love deep healing. They could actually have interest even in medicine, interest in non-traditional healing, so interest in therapy. Self-care for Ceres and Scorpio could be an actual therapy, even like for many people, but even for them it's especially strong here. I think what I said about Ceres and Sagittarius is also pretty good. Ceres and Capricorn could be someone who might not like to just let themselves enjoy life, because maybe, I don't know, even maybe if there's other placements in their chart that support them, maybe they had a parent who didn't like to spoil them, who thought that they need to grow up in a strict way so that, you know, they will have better results. So it's a sign that's connected to strict discipline. So I would say, like with Ceres and Capricorn, it will also depend. Like White Moon Selena in the sign of Capricorn is a bit different, and I don't want to say difficult, but we need to really look more at what's happening in the chart. And so is Ceres in the sign of Capricorn. Help these people to sometimes chill out a little bit might be really good, because Ceres and Capricorn could sometimes represent, of course, his moon is also supporting that, the mother who might not necessarily also nourish them so much. Ceres in Aquarius is someone who needs their freedom, needs their time alone. Give them that time alone if you can. And then with Ceres and Pisces, like I said, be near water, doing anything that has to do with imagination, creativity, art could be amazing with these people too. So yeah, this is my analysis on Ceres through signs. I might make more videos on that. Once again, I think that even though asteroids are so underrated and considered like something minor, maybe once again when we're with the entire chart, sure, I will be looking at other things first. However, if I want to figure out something quickly and just figure out some little details here and there, this is what I will pay attention to, and they are just really fun in my opinion. What I also wanted to mention about Ceres is that, let's say if you have Ceres in the same sign, and especially if it's in a close orb to your sun, moon, rising, or even any other significant planet, I would count maybe Venus here as well, people will automatically feel this nurturing, caring vibe from you. You will be very nurturing, very caring, and be very much into both self-care and caring for others as well, just by your nature. For example, I have my Ceres close, very close to my sun. It's not exactly conjunct, but it's close. And first of all, I appreciate always good self-care myself. I attract this kind of people into my life, usually in the relationship. Plus, I am caring by nature, or at least I try to be. Most people would say that I have this nurturing vibe. And of course, if Ceres once again is close to your ascendant, rising, to your moon, other placement, people could feel also this very loving, very caring vibes for you. So for you, it's going to be that also much more prominent in your chart. You will feel that energy that much more as well. If you want to study astrology with me and talk about all these topics even deeper, once again, check out my astrology courses. Until the end of the week, we have amazing promotion going on, so take advantage of that while it's still there. There is an option for a package for both courses at a discounted price, plus a private reading with me. It's a mini private reading, but still it's complimentary, that comes with this package. There is also a discount code for my level 1 foundational course, where I take you all the way from scratch and explain to you everything from the very beginning, from even how to generate your chart on the internet. There is a discount code for that course only until the end of this week. The code is Rebirth, and my level 2 foundational course comes with a code literally level 2, also until the end of this week. We talk about deeper topics there. I'm available to answer any of your questions if you enroll into my courses. So if you're interested, all the information is going to be in the description box of this video. For those of you also who want to support and check out my membership community that just launched on this YouTube you don't need to go anywhere, it's really right here. Check out my membership community as well. Information about this is going to be in the description box of this video too. Love you guys all so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below where your Ceres is and what your self-care tips and rituals are. I'll be very curious and interested to learn from you as well. Thank you guys, and we'll talk soon. Bye.